And the button is pushed.
Awesome. What up?
And I think we're live, friend.
Yo.
So we decided to come on and hang out with you guys late night tonight and talk a little bit of Activision, a little bit of Uncharted, with my boy Ham Solo. How are you doing today, pal?
I'm doing pretty good. Had the lady's birthday today. Hung out with her. Hung out with the fam. I got a buddy in town right now, so he's actually hanging out in the front room while we're doing this. But
Okay.
yeah, everything's going pretty good, man. I mean, living really well. Recently purchased more stuff that I don't need, but like a Sega Saturn 32X,
Did it work better than your
and a
Sega
couple.
CD?
Oh yeah, I actually turned that Sega CD back in and found a different one that worked perfect.
Oh, good for
So
you,
so
dude.
that situation got saved. And yeah, man, I'm just rolling around in video games pretty much right now. My most exciting purchase that I recently got was
Situation
probably
got saved.
Scarface for PS2. That was a really good game, kind of like a true crime Streets of LA style game, Grand Theft Auto, like crazy. Tony Montana, I mean, he runs around, he does drugs to stay alive pretty much. And yeah, it's totally a Scarface game, but the cool thing about it is the story is after, like it's as if he survived instead of him dying at the end of the movie like he actually did. If you ever seen the movie, he actually
Yeah,
dies at the end of that movie.
right, right.
um yeah, so this is him escaping, and and what happens, because he loses his estate, he loses everything, and so you pretty much have to Grand Theft Auto him back into greatness.
Nice. Okay.
So it's
That
pretty
sounds
nuts.
awesome,
It's pretty
dude.
cool. Yeah, dude, it is a really cool game. So I highly recommend it. It's out for, I believe, it's only for the Xbox and PlayStation, but it's a pretty hard game to find. And if you do find it, it's usually like 40 plus dollars. So I recommend it though. It's a must-have game, especially if you have an older console.
Dude, you game hunt better than anybody else I talk to. That's awesome. I love how you get a hold of that old stuff.
Yeah, man. Love it, man. I mean, that's my version of game preservation. I look at gaming now where you really rely on updates and being online and stuff like that. So when somebody says like I like, physical copies, I don't really think of today's games physical copies as like a true physical copy. Because like if you've seen what happened with Halo when it came out, people were getting the disc but unable to play the game until the update. And that, to me, that's not a real game. Like a real
No.
physical game to me. A physical game is, oops, they sent this early in the mail. I pop it in and it works, but I got it early. you know?
Yep. Instead, you've got the gold version without the day one patch, which is basically just a broken game.
Exactly. So yeah, so I like to collect older games. I don't have a huge collection right now, but a collection is a collection. I'm starting out with my favorite games, obviously, first before I get into uh, dipping into games that I didn't really anticipate liking and stuff like that. So Game Passing it up, but
Right,
like this
man.
is way more expensive than Game Pass actually is.
Yeah, well, it's whatever makes you happy, man. Well, that's awesome. I've been playing through Demon Souls. Gosh, I'm almost done. And once I finish that,
Oh my goodness.
I have all the From Software games beaten prior to Elden Ring coming out, and that was my goal. So I'm just about there.
Congratulations. That's a feat in itself.
Yeah, I will have beat them all in a little over a year. So all
Well,
three.
I know you really like that kind of stuff, so it
Man,
must
not
have been fun.
it was fun. Yeah, and I'm really excited for Elden Ring to come out. One more little catch-up thing before we get into the topics that I wanted to mention is I saw you were finally getting your hands on Death's Door, and I wanted to know what you're feeling about that.
Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play it, but the time that I did spend into playing it, I thought it was really cool. So far, I went through a couple bosses. One of the last bosses being like a castle that like it's like a turret shoots like turrets or something at you.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Still kind of really early at the beginning of the game, so like I just seen like the main like death's door and found out that I'm trapped and all of that stuff. So still really early into that game, but it looks really cool. You don't want to die in that game. Like I'll say that. Like you don't want to die because I died like a couple times, like halfway through the boss, and then I noticed how far back I was, and I was like, oh man, like this is definitely not a game where you just want to just run out there. You kind of want to run around for a little while and see what openings open up. It's very soulsy feeling.
Right, right. So yeah, yeah, that's what everyone described it to me as, is a pretty good mix between like a over the top Zelda game and a Dark Souls, and I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I mean I like it though. I think it's a comfortable version of that. Like I don't know, that's the best way I can kind of describe it.
Sure. Well, I think the big news that everybody's talking about right now in games is Xbox acquiring Activision. So,
Oh yeah.
um, just briefly, I'd love to have your thoughts on that whole situation in general before we start digging into some more specific topics.
So I initially was talking. I said something on Twitter about this, and I feel like a lot of people are thinking a little too much about Call of Duty. And I mean, Crash has recently been a big deal, and the whole Aaron Greenberg posting Crash picture and all that jazz. Um, but um, but as of like the deal in the sense of like monetary means, because for some reason people feel the need to follow the money, even though it really doesn't matter what we think compared to these crazy $1 trillion, $1 billion companies that are thinking of things way beyond us, thinking of things, way further down the line than we could really comprehend, probably, because we don't have that kind of
100%.
money. We've never played with that kind of money. We don't know what it's like for them to go to the bank and have more money than damn near the bank,
Since the announcement of the acquisition, I've been trying to figure out what $68.7 billion looks like. Like,
like
just in
you can't even
space,
fathom
right?
it.
Yeah.
You can't even really fathom that kind of money, like realistically. So like when I think of this deal, to me it's way more than Call of Duty. It's more than Crash. It's more than old IP. It's more than WoW, Candy Crush. I mean, all that stuff is the now, and everybody, wants to pull, their, you know, did you win or lose at every second of every day. This is a massive future move for Xbox into the way that they can build games on different platforms within phones, keep everything connected. Could you imagine turning on your TV, playing some Call of Duty, getting an achievement for playing Call of Duty, and then your kid happens to be playing on your phone and you see an achievement pop up from Candy Crush on your
Dang.
TV?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like let's say a kid's playing on your PC in another room and you have an achievement pop up for WoW. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many this is a connection purchase more than anything to me. This has nothing to do with just IP. This is like a way to bridge gaps that they've bridged well already. PC, they've been at the PC for a long time. Candy Crush is a way that they figured out how to monetize it, but now can they bring it together with other services so where you're getting Microsoft rewards for playing these types of games. Like, this is that kind of metaverse talk that a lot of people are talking about, is bringing a lot of different directions to one place. Just like Facebook is trying to do with video games and Oculus, and PlayStation is kind of like, they're like behind on the ideology of making things multi-platform instead of just console driven, which a lot of people think that they are way more behind than they are. I think they have ideas. They're really quiet with the way that they present their information, and we've noticed that quite a bit, to the point where it's almost kind of frustrating. So I think that they have an idea. They have a lot of, partners and buddies, and they've been in the game for a long time. And we still haven't even seen some of these acquisitions from either side, PlayStation or Xbox, really flourish at all.
Well, I
So,
mean, we're still looking at the original, what was that, 2017 or 2018 E3 acquisitions, the Double Fines and the Ninja Theories and stuff. Well, I guess Double Fine with Psychonauts too, but we're still waiting on some of those acquisitions to
oh
really
yeah,
like show their teeth. And then all of Bethesda, it's crazy that, just 2 years after that was announced that we're going to get Redfall, hopefully. There's rumors that's getting delayed. But then Starfield at the end of the year. So, some of these acquisitions from before are taking 5 years or longer to really pay off. And Bethesda's going to do it in less than two. So it'll be really exciting to see what comes of the Activision thing. Because I'm with you. While COD could be their cash cow, I honestly, the biggest talk right now is whether or not that's going to be an Xbox exclusive, and I don't know that I care that much anymore. Initially, that was my first question too, but it's quickly becoming the least interesting part of that deal to me when Phil's talking about Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk Pro Skater coming back, another dormant IP that Activision owns and hasn't done anything with because they've just been kind of milking Warzone for all it's worth.
I
So,
always thought, and I said this on a podcast, like in the chat, just I don't remember which podcast it was. I think it was Boom's Double Barrel.
nice,
But
yeah, shout out to Boom.
yeah, he's dope. But I was just in the chat, and they were talking about this deal and what some of the cool things you could possibly see, and they were kind of, throwing out their thoughts, and I decided to write in something. I wrote in Xbox gets um Xbox gets um some sort of compatible VR partnership, and then drops Guitar Hero
Yeah, dude.
VR.
Oh man, I am
And
right
like
there for it.
I think that would be like an internet kind of breaking kind of event, because could you imagine putting on a headset and you have a crowd right in front of you, you see the notes that you're supposed to hit, and if you suck you're getting booed, and you could see it in freaking 360 vision, like
Yeah, and you
people
can
behind you saying, come on man, you could do better.
yeah, you can look at the band members and they interact with you. All that stuff is possible.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm kind of starting to lean towards like VR should kind of go a little bit in the direction of some of these like old Sega CD and Saturn, and like old school games where they act like 3DO, Panasonic 3DO. They had games that were like you were in the movie essentially, and then you'd end up like it's kind of hard to explain, but like there is one video game that I have on Sega CD where you're like an actual boxer, and they call you like the king or something like that, and it's like you like talking trash with this other boxer before the match, and you can see people in the crowd saying like, don't give up, you're gonna get him, and stuff like that, and like your corner actually were like real people talking to you and stuff like that. So like if they could put something like that in VR, that'd be cool, because you can because in the game you can actually like see your fist moving, and it'd go to like a
Oh, I
mini
see. Yeah.
cutscene. It'd go into like a mini cutscene and show him actually getting punched by you.
So there was like it was like actual actors doing it, and then they
Yes.
just put you on the camera. Ah, I gotcha. That's pretty
Right, and
cool.
I feel like they can implement that much more realistically now than they could back in 93 and 95 and 96, you know what I mean?
Dude, for
That'd be
sure.
cool.
They just struggle, I think, to make VR this triple A crazy experience, right? The one I still have never played it, but Half-Life Alyx is the one that everybody talks about being this really breakthrough VR experience. And I just think that until we can get some more of that, like VR is just going to be this novelty that once it wears off, then you just have these really basic mechanics. But then, like, we're watching Asa from Game On Daily running on his crazy treadmill thing and stabbing people with other people's swords and smashing people's heads together. Is like, that was wild. I don't know if you've seen that. That was at the end of one of their more recent podcasts. Um,
Yeah, from Game on Daily.
yeah.
No,
So
I haven't seen that, but that'd be really cool. Something I'd like to see. That's for sure.
he
That's pretty
he
dope.
he Twitch streams his setup now, and it is wild. So
That's
um
crazy dope. I'm gonna have to look into that because I've heard of that, but I've never actually like seen anybody actually do it like
what
for real,
it's
like
got
a
like a
stream of it or anything like that.
it's got like a crazy gyro thing too. So the
Oh yeah,
cable
when you turn
from
and
the
stuff like
helmet
that.
doesn't get tied up in him. Yeah, it's nutty. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I know Ace is a massive VR guy. Like he loves VR, which is really cool. I hope to like VR like that, but like a setup like that is just not ideal for your average consumer.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I have no idea how much he spent on that, but I'm sure it was a
I would
ton.
love to have something like that. Trust me, I would love it. But yeah, but like if we're talking, I'm also not your average consumer. You know what I mean when it comes to video games. So
Oh, sure. Now, we've had a little bit of conflicting stuff come up on the topic of exclusives. Where initially Phil sent out his tweet saying that we plan to, I spoke with Sony, told them we want to honor all prior contracts that are already in place, and that we desire to have Call of Duty on PlayStation. Now, Jason Schreier, he posted an article saying, well, he talked to somebody close to things at Activision, and they're saying that COD 2022 and COD 2023 and Warzone 2 in 2024 are all set up to have uh, PlayStation, but after that it gets, quote, hazier.
yeah,
So,
I believe that 100%. I believe that 100%. That sounds like a contractual agreement.
right.
And like, I mean, that is word for word what, Sony was worried about. Like when Sony came out and actually spoke on it, they said, we're hoping that Microsoft is willing to go with the agreements that we had set, you know, forth already. Like to
And then they said,
like they pretty much said it as if they knew Microsoft was gonna finish this deal. And they're just saying, hey, like please don't mess with what we kind of got going already, but once you're done, we understand. And that's what I hear from that kind of talk.
the end of that tweet, though, the one that gets me is when they said we expect Xbox to keep Activision games multi-platform. And it's just hilarious to me to hear Sony say, we expect, your first party IP now to be multi-platform.
See, to me, that sounds like a bully a little bit. That sounds a little bit like a bully, like, like you wouldn't like to disrupt us, would you? Like,
Well,
like, come
right,
on, like,
and
I'm just not feeling that.
even more to me, it sounds hypocritical Because you know
Right.
darn well if this was Sony that that stuff would be, and I imagine fully people are saying that they would yank Call of Duty off Xbox as soon as possible, and I don't think that's the case. They would finish out agreements as well because, if Microsoft isn't going to pay out those exit clauses for those contractual agreements, then neither is Sony. Um, but you bet your butt as soon as that ended, they would make that stuff exclusive. I don't think there's
Oh
any doubt
yeah.
about it. So it's just
There is
funny to
no
me that
doubt.
they would say that they expect stuff to remain multi-platform when they wouldn't do it themselves.
I've yet to experience any like nice play from PlayStation when they have some sort of, first dib in something. They're usually very, like we get this for a little while. They love their timed exclusives. So
And
like,
they flaunt it. Like if you want this experience, the only place to get it's on PlayStation. And I think to some people it sounds um, like luxurious, which is clearly how they mean it, right? And it's just the way it is. That's their marketing structure, and it clearly works for them. But you're right; they really enjoy their time in the spotlight, and they create that by saying, "Hey, if you wanna have this, you can only get it here."
yeah, exactly. And I mean that is business. That's just business, and there's nothing really wrong with that, but like you can't be mad when somebody does it back to you. I mean, it's the golden rule, right? It's
No,
the golden rule. You do you treat others like you would want to be treated, so they're getting treated like they treated the other right now.
yeah,
So like it's gonna suck for some people, and I mean like a bunch of people were frustrated about the Elder Scrolls situation,
right.
and it just kind of is what it is. And I mean there's still probably some people talking about it, but like the the audience is pretty quiet now about it. They kind of get it, you know what I mean. I feel like maybe Call of Duty will be a bigger deal, but now that we know about the acquisition now, and we know that there could be a Call of Duty, Warzone 2024, or Call of Duty 2024 or whatnot. Like we know that Sony's getting something else, but knowing something eases the pain for later. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it makes it more painful because you have to think about it all the time, but usually you can find other avenues to get what you need by the time if you hear about something soon enough. You know what I mean?
And I think PlayStation is going to take this as an opportunity to bring back like a Resistance or a Killzone and really kind of push that because they've got the market's ear. I don't think this is going to make them not the market leader instantly.
Well, Sony likes
Um,
to flaunt originality, so
right.
this is their chance to step up to the plate and be like, you know what, you took away Call of Duty, we'll make something original and kind of figure it out, and that's what their fans love, and I don't blame them for that. I mean,
Right.
I'm a Sony fan as well, but like not as diehard as a lot of people are for sure. Um, but like if they came out with something that was totally different that could rival a Call of Duty, bet your bottom dollar I would hop on and play it. Like forget it. A good game's a good game. I'm not gonna purposely miss out on it just because I'm, excited for what somebody else is doing.
No, that's where I'm at too. That's why you got to be platform agnostic and have everything and go where the games are. And um, I have thought it since before these consoles launched that this is going to be the generation where we see people be more multi-platform than ever before because
I
you're
feel
really
like
gonna,
this is a generation where people get put in their place.
yep, you're gonna be missing out either way.
Yeah, like do you really want to fight this? Like, like I feel like a lot of people are in their high chair right now and they are fighting. They're not going to eat the green beans. They're not going to eat the green beans. And then they're going to start getting hungry. and they're gonna eat the green beans.
I love it, dude.
That's dad talk right there.
Ham and green beans solo, laying it down. Would you have any other things you want to talk about with the Activision stuff? I think that kind of brings it up to snuff. That Call of Duty news from Schreier was the last kind of big thing that I had heard about it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I really got to say about it.
Cool. The other big news we've been seeing a lot today is Digital Foundry and a few other people have dropped their reviews on Naughty Dog's Uncharted Legacy of Thieves pack, which is the PS5 remaster for Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy. Have you
Okay.
finished? Have you finished both of those games?
No, I actually, as I may have told you before, I may not have, but I skipped the PS3 and PS4 generation at that time because I was low on money and I was an Xbox guy.
I gotcha.
So I missed out on a lot of great games that I'm currently catching up on. Like Last of Us and Last of Us 2, beat both of those.
Great
So like,
games.
I'm just going back and catching up on some of these games. God of War, beat that. So I'll be definitely going after it. And based off of this announcement, I might want to look for an older copy of one of these games. But continue.
Yeah, right. So what Ham is alluding to is we were looking through the PlayStation blog. Well, I kind of set this up because Ham was masterful about it. Had a great question to ask me when I was talking to him about it in the green room. Um, so there's the regular PS4 version, and then they've come with the PS5 version, which holds its normal $10 upgrade fee. But what's a little different about this is the Legacy of Thieves has two games in it, Uncharted 4 and Uncharted Lost Legacy. Now, with the upgrade, you can have either of those games or the bundle that they used to come in, and you can upgrade from PS4 to PS5 version for $10 across the board, no questions asked. And then Ham asked me, does that count for a physical copy as well? Like, can I go out and find a used physical copy of Uncharted 4 or Uncharted Lost Legacy, which I actually don't even know if there's such a thing as a physical copy of Lost Legacy. But anyway, um, he go out and find a PS4 version of Uncharted 4 and then upgrade to Uncharted Legacy of Thieves? And the answer is yes. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that most recent PlayStation blog, it says owners of PS4 disc copies must insert them into the PS5 every time they want to download or play the PS5 digital versions. So if you have a physical PS5, you can go out and get a physical copy of Uncharted 4 and then
Let's
upgrade that for
go.
$10 to the Legacy of Thieves edition. Yeah, you get
Let's go.
yourself, a $70 set a couple of games for what? What do you think an Uncharted 4 used copy costs right now?
Probably like 40, like 30, $40. But if I can save $20, like, I don't see why not.
I mean,
But the problem with that is right now is like with that announcement being made, that might, change the prices of those games because like a lot of people want to blame Sony about marking up games. Well, these companies do it too. So like the companies will notice a trend within like eBay or any kind of business that resells games, like a Vintage Stock Gamers,
homeboy,
whatever.
I am looking at one right here, unopened disc copy for $13.99.
Ooh, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I want to go get. But a lot of people aren't going to be looking at eBay to get their stuff. They're going to be wanting to walk into the store. So maybe you might want to go and like look at Walmart's website or like Best Buy or
Here,
see what a copy is running there,
does
and that will
GameStop
kind of give
show
you a good
that?
idea. Yeah, I bet GameStop would have that.
Where's a Gaming Forte when you need them?
Right?
Pre-owned copy, 17.99.
There you go. So I might have to run out tomorrow and go get me a pre-owned copy or something, man. And
Yeah, Lost
because
Legacy
it
is
all
17.99, and the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection is 17.99. So you can get Uncharted, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3 for 18 bucks. And then you can grab Uncharted Lost Legacy for also 18 bucks. So for what's that,
less than
$36,
$40,
you've got all
and
four
then I
games and
spend
the
10 more
upgrade.
dollars. Yeah.
Gosh,
I mean,
this
that's a
is
lot of that's a lot of hoops to jump around, but I wonder if they'll just make it simple and fairly priced on PlayStation, knowing that you can do something like that.
hopefully, well,
But
because the unfortunate thing is from watching um, Digital Foundry's video is it's honestly just not that much of an upgrade. The same thing happened to um, Ghost of Tsushima. John Linneman said that there was some places where you could really look at, zooming in on fabrics and textures and things like that and notice a massive improvement. But while you're actually running around in the game, everything seems basically the same. A little bit better draw distance, but that's all you're getting.
I've heard the same, and I don't really expect it to be like crazy insane.
Right, it's a
But
remaster. You get what you
but
get.
but I don't know. At the same time, yeah, like then it kind of depends to me what you're setting the price point for the game to be. And is that already known yet? Is it $70? Because if it's $70, then there's just something I can't agree with
Let me look.
for a remaster at least. So I don't know how much that game is right now. Do you happen to know?
I'm pulling it up right this second.
Interesting.
No, 49.99.
Oh, so see,
Excuse my
it's not even worth
slander.
going through. It's not even worth going through all that trouble, but like it's pretty cool because you can even find even cheaper copies if you're going around looking. You might say like what it looks like is like max $10.
Yep, it's almost exactly what it is. You buy that 18.99 copy of Lost Legacy, and then spend 10 more bucks to upgrade to Legacy of Thieves. But the other thing is a pretty good deal. That 18.99 for the Nathan Drake collection. That first game's a bit dated. It can be tough to get through, but the story's good. The gameplay is just rough. But two on is those games are all amazing.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty excited to check it out and see what it's all about. That's for sure. I'm not sure how much I'm in a rush to do that because there's a lot of games coming out, and I might even just wait for a sell on that to come out. Because if there's a sell on top of an upgrade of that, that might be like super interesting for me to look at. But as of right now, a remaster isn't the first thing I'm looking to grab off of the shelves, right away.
Well, speaking
We
of
have a lot
that,
of games coming out.
yeah, I'll do a little pivot and ask you what your favorite game coming out in February is, because I don't know if I really remember a whole month where we've got like I don't know what is there 13 or 14 games coming out this month between AAA and indies. I mean, it's really kind of bananas.
It's intense. I think the most excited one I am like ready to play, like from Jump Street, day one purchase kind of thing, is probably Dying Light.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're only a few days away, and I think I'm gonna be in there day one too.
Like I just like that game. It just like I rewatched a newer trailer like a couple times, um, and it's just like it was like a long like 3 to 5 minute trailer or something like that, and it was just amazing looking. Like I was watching the trailer at first, at like 720p, and I was like, wait. You know how that goes. Like you're watching it and you notice you're watching it at the wrong resolution. You're like, I must restart this whole
Yeah,
video
what's
now.
this blurry shit?
Yeah, right. So I was like, man, it's looking good, but I expected a little bit more, and I looked at my quality, and I was like, oh damn, YouTube, you messing with me right now. So I turned it up to 4K and rewatched it, and I was like, bro, like I know Horizon Forbidden West looks phenomenal, and I really want to get that. And Ring looks really cool and fun, and it's multiplayer, and I'm excited to do that. But like Dying Light, it looks like a game. Like it gave me Far Cry 6 vibes, and that might vary per person. Hearing something like that, but for me personally, Far Cry 6, when I turned on that game, I could not stop playing it until I beat it.
Yeah, I really
Could
liked it
not stop
too.
playing it until I beat it. I played that game days straight until I like played all of the yarn story missions and all the side missions. Like I just fell flat for that game. And knowing that there is like 500 hours of content within the game, I know that that is for all the different types of endings. And if you talk to every single person and walking around every single place, but just knowing that there's that much um, longevity to the game, like it makes me excited to get into it. Because I know it won't take that long to beat, but like I can stretch it as long as I want to stretch it. And that to me is like what I love about certain video games like Immortals Phoenix Rising and Zelda. And like you can really stretch games like that to be like, oh, I just don't feel like doing the story right now. I'm gonna do a bunch of these other missions.
Well, and I don't know if you've played the first game, but it's interesting, when you talk about a normal game, like, oh, we're just walking around or just talking to people, can get monotonous, but because of that parkour aspect, and it's a totally different game to kind of move around in, um, but that really adds an element of fun to just traversal that not many games have. So I think you're really going to get a full 500 hours out of that. Probably multiple playthroughs for all the endings, and I don't know if they're going to have it in kind of moral aspects where it's good versus bad, and or if there's going to be you level up these different kind of guilds or contingents. You know, we've seen that they're going to have kind of different factions and stuff like that. So
I'm a fool for being evil in a game too. I like to like choose the bad path in most games just so I can see how bad it can actually get.
uh, do you always expect to grow horns like in Fable?
No, I don't expect all that, but like but like in a game like that, like you expect some gruesome stuff to happen or something really bad to you to happen. So that kind of stuff makes me excited that like you can really take a direction and make it messed up. So yeah, I'm extremely excited for that game. My second game I'm probably most excited for. I want to say Elden Ring, but I'm probably gonna say Horizon Forbidden West. But the thing about that game is it's not a day one for me.
I gotcha.
That game I want to see a little bit from. The traverse in the last game was just not good for me. I didn't like it. It just took so long to get around. I
Too
didn't like
scripted. Yeah.
I didn't like the animals that I was riding that much. Like I come from a game like Ark Survival Evolved where like I can level up my animals, make them faster or make them more powerful, and it just felt like I felt like I was getting on a bad horse every time
And I
in that
didn't.
game.
My pet peeve about that game was if your mount died, then I have to figure out going to get another mount. That game changed uh,
That
from
too. Oh
like a
my
switch
God.
for me when I could just summon a mount and have it just be there. That was a night and day difference for me in that game. So I hope those are those like quality of life things that they don't like. They. It's like when a game tries to hinge too much on a realistic like type of physic, right? We're dealing with like a broken down America where there's robot dinosaurs, but I can't just summon one of those robot dinosaurs to my side to ride on. I have to actually go and hack it every time I want to go somewhere. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, some of the traversal things are really the big deals for me. And then what I seen that was a massive improvement in that game was just the animation of like the feeling of the character. That felt 100% different and cool and something that kind of made me excited for a game that I wasn't really into previously for its predecessor. So very interesting.
yeah, I'm right there with you. Those three are the big games that I'm waiting on, and I guess it really depends on where I'm at on Dying Light when Horizon releases, because I feel like Forbidden West experience is always going to be there and be exactly what it is as a single player narrative driven game. So if I'm still really pushing Dying Light when Horizon comes out, I may just wait because once Elden Ring comes out, that's going to consume 100% of my time for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, man. You seem really excited for that. So go ahead, go for it, man.
Ah, well, what we just say, I watched so much different stuff for the tech test, like between Cowboy and a few other people that were streaming all their content, and Fextra Life was showing off different things, and um, basically they felt like they got like 1/20th of the game and spent hours and hours day after day playing, was the same content and finding new things. And um, like somebody asked Cowboy how many bosses he thought were going to be in the game, and he said over 100 easily, just based on the small little, um, portion of what they got to play. So that just made me jazzed. I'm ready.
Well, I mean, that sounds really good, especially for like co-op and stuff like that. So very exciting stuff.
Well, Bud, that about wraps up what I got. Anything else for the good of the order?
I don't really have anything particular other than if you haven't seen one of the most recent episodes that I did on my YouTube channel, they said we said TSWS Gaming. I had Neo Game Spark on there, really cool guy. Talked about a lot of his past and stuff like that. So if you want to catch any more work from me personally, definitely do that. But also give Astros a like and a and a sub for sure, man. He's a really good guy. He knows what he's talking about, and he brings his A game each time. So and he's getting better each week. So definitely continue to check him out as he builds his stuff.
Oh man, that means the world to me. I appreciate that. I will have I think I've already got your Twitter handle linked down in the chat, but I will also put a link for They Said We Said Gaming, and make sure you guys go ahead and sub to that and turn on those notifications. You're not gonna want to miss another episode of Behind Them Sticks where Ham Solo goes out and finds members of the community and highlights them, because that's just kind of the non-selfish guy that he is. He always likes to bump other people up and make them feel good. So
Hey
check him
man,
out,
and the
and
more people happier, the easier the world moves. You know.
that's it, right? And we got to take care of each other out here.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with us, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Yeah. Take it easy. See y'all later.